In 1976, the music world was reaching for the skies with lavish orchestral pomp rock and soul. And one person not to be left behind in all this was pop singer and actor David Essex, who, in partnership with his producer and arranger Geoff Westley, released the most grand and lavish album of his career, Out on the Street, and from it the tumultuous title track. A slow, lurching, but rather heavy and faintly menacing piano intro that yeah, kind of indicative that, well, we're out on the street. We know that. It sounds like something's about to be encountered. Like feet stomping, kind of like shadowy figures in the alleyway, kind of. It's street corner saxophone. I'm picturing the various characters that we might encounter. Mid-70s street scene, kind of in a seedy part of town. Hear that boom, 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 kind of like marching feet. Kind of like I wonder if people are coming together, forming a procession, like a gang. Picturing like greasers, streetwalkers, panhandlers, street musicians, all kinds of like characters. Stray cats, rats, pimps. Quite a grand entrance, pregnant with future possibilities.
Out on the street there, people are moving.
Showing his range as a vocalist, and bear in mind, this was like the first guy ever to have a chart-topping hit with an a cappella track.
Winning and losing. Out on the street.
Flaring up. Yeah, this is going to be a song of some, like, I don't know, schizophrenic mood shifts between really kind of muted, restrained, and then just bursting out.
Out on the street. Out on the corner, the pimp and the punces, strawberry blondie.
I love the tough guy camp here.
They come and they go back to the shadows.
Already, I wish I was wearing more one of my jackets, but it's like, I don't know, like 80 degrees, a bit too hot in here. But you hear that bass thing again? Boom. It's fainter this time. Boom, 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 boom. Kind of like sliding octave. Very different from most of the bass octave usage of the time. Yeah. Trying to think, I can't think of many songs that was used in. Boom, like sliding up and down between octaves rather than just going like boom, 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 like disco style.
Out on the corner, she waits for a lover who crawls in the gutter for cigarette ends or money to spend.
I knew it. Yeah, streetwalkers, Johns. Yeah. Okay. Out on the street there, people are moving, winning and losing. Out on the street, out on the corner, the pimp in the ponces, strawberry blonded, hooker lies low in a alley of love. They come and they go. Back to the shadows. Yeah. What did I say? Yeah, what did I tell you? Out on the corner, she waits for a lover who crawls in the gutter for cigarette ends or money to spend. A John who can't even afford. I love the way his voice just kind of like winds up and gets fast and loud and.
Alone in the city, she smiles, she looks pretty. You've money to burn, why not take a turn? Head spinning with wine, but you know that it's time for good times.
It's strange. I only discovered this album a few years ago, and I was thinking, where has this album been my whole life? God, if this album would have been one of my soundtracks back in my 20s, back in the 90s. Oh my! I tell you, like, back when I was doing a radio show back in the 90s, this would have been a mainstay. Yeah.
Only good times, you say. How much is your body?
In some ways, he's kind of like, it is kind of like John Miles' Rebel, like arrangement-wise, except David Essex has got a lot more sass, a lot more kind of theatrical pizzazz about him. Don't get me wrong, I love them both, but yeah. There's a lot more camp to this. But of course, he's an actor.
Are you worth what you cost me? But what do you touch?
God, I so would have done like a performance skit to this at one of the clubs back in town if I had known about it back in the day, back when I was going to clubs and such.
I've only this much. You climb the stairs to a room waiting there. Alone but together, you look at each other, bowing your head. She said, was it something I said? Do you want whiskey or rum? Would you like to have fun?
Oh, the way he just winds up like that. Oh God. Let's see. Where are we? Okay. Alone in the city. She smiles, she look pretty. You've money to burn. Why not take a turn? Head spinning with wine, but you know that it's time for good times, only good times. You say, how much is your body? Are you worth what you cost me? But what do you touch? No, I've only this much. You climb the stairs to a room waiting there. Okay, so it's about, I guess the song really is about just kind of like a dispute, a payment dispute between a John and a harlot.
Turn and run.
Such kind of like a, almost like, well, agonized, like cry into the night.
The street.
Songs about streetwalkers seems to have been a theme in certain circles during the time. I think like the band Shabby Tiger. I think a lot of their songs were either about ladies of the night or groupies. It seemed to, I think just about that seemed to be like a reoccurring theme on their album. I think the Doctors of Madness did at least one song about male prostitution. winding up.
Down and out on the street.
I love how there's like so many dropouts, so many slowdowns, so many grinding halts, and then speed ups, amp ups, wind ups. Just the dynamics of this. Really thick, really loud, booming drums. Yeah, like piano, saxophone, or a real like theatrical type like rock sound. I'm not hearing like a lot of guitar. Heck, the one video where my usual like ordinary weather attire of like a pop collar jacket and a handkerchief would have been most befitting to the music that I'm playing, and oh god. It's like this was perfect for the John Anderson video, but
Alone in his bedroom, he sits watching the moon.
okay, it seems like we've becalmed for a minute here. It's almost like, yeah, alone in his bedroom, he sits watching the moon. I wonder if he's already had his jollies, and is therefore kind of mellow.
Tears on his face, he stares into space. Oh, what a waste, and what a disgrace.
Okay, those there, he's pretty easy to understand here. His vocals are pretty clear. I guess that comes with also being an actor, because because sometimes in rock vocals you can't hear you can't decipher the lyrics well because of the noise, the production. It isn't quite as demanded among rock singers, like clarity of words being sung. But in acting, you must speak in a clear tone, and where audiences can understand what you're saying, and I guess that translates to his performance before the microphone in the recording studio. Yeah, he wouldn't have it any other way, and it's I guess it's something understood between him and Jeff Wayne. Yeah. Alone in his bedroom, he sits watching the moon, tears on his face, he stares into space. Oh, what a disgrace! Oh, what a waste, and what a disgrace. So maybe the man who's a John, perhaps a young man, thinks, I don't want to be someone who just is like paying for love or wheeling and dealing for, you know.
Wanting and needing, but losing the thread. Sitting in corners, he stares at the bed. The devil's inside him, the gal next door said.
Okay, quite a line there. Let's see. We got wanting and needing, but losing the thread. Sitting in corners, he stares at his bed. The devil's inside him. The gal next door said. The gal. Yeah, so the devil's inside him. So he's consumed with his own sinning, lustful ways. Yeah, that's what that means.
Taking the way out, he paid for the ride. Twisting and turning and dying inside. But oh, how he tried, and oh, how they lied.
Okay, let's see. Take him the way out. He paid for the ride, twisting and turning and dying inside. But oh, how he tried. Oh, how they lied. Huh.
Oh, look at that man lying in the gutter. Oh, look at that man. Why do you think he's suffer?
Let's see here. Yeah, the arrangements are kind of taking more of a pause for this unison vocal part. Oh, ho, look at that man lying in the gutter. Oh, it seems like a John got beaten up. Maybe because he couldn't pay. Yeah, John got beaten up, got roughed up by a pimp. Yeah.
There's no reason at all why he can't be straight. There's no reason on earth why he can't be regular.
Sort of an oompa section here. Oh, look at that man. Why do you think his suffer? There's no reason at all. Why can't he be straight? There's no reason on earth why you can't be regular. Okay, oh, look at that man. Do you think he's crying? Look at that man. Yes, I think he's dying. There's no reason why he can't be straight. There's no reason on earth why you can't be regular. That's quite self-evident, yeah. There's, well, it's societies. I don't know, not a lot of psychological, I haven't really read much psychological studies into why perpetual Johns fall into that particular vice. Yeah, and of just like wheeling and dealing for hookers, you know. But then again, I kind of think it was more of a problem, like in the, like in decades past. Guys have, I don't know, troubled guys have other ways, other means these days.
There's no reason why he can't be straight. There's no reason on earth why he can't be regular.
A new song is kind of emerging, at least temporarily.
Regular.
Kind of slow blues. He's forming kind of like a hook around that word regular, just through repetition, just wrapping his voice around that word slowly. He could have gotten a little bit more mileage out of that, perhaps, like by that key change, you know, that slow kind of bluesy kind of key change, and then continuing to say regular around each chord, you know. Oh, the saxophone and that sliding octave once again.
Out on the street, the police cars are screaming. Blue lights are flashing.
Okay, it looks like the plot is taking a new direction. We just got that last section, the regular section. It seemed to be more spoken from a different point of view, the point of view of like society's judgment on this man, or like that of councilmen and lawmakers, judges, you know, guardians of the public, you know, public morals and such. Now we are getting back to the scene of the crime.
Into the room, into his tomb.
Out on the street there, police cars are screaming, blue lights are flashing into the room, into his tomb.
Into the black night, winding the blue lights, crossing the river. They try to give up. He's cold to their touch. He's cold to their touch.
Into the black night, winding the blue light, crossing the river. They try but give up. He's cold to their touch. He's cold to their touch. He was murdered. Smoldering sax meltdown.
Down and out on the down and out on the down and out.
God, such a low, like tense, like rally of percussion, and it kind of like conjures up the imagery of a bunch of people gathering around and tensions brewing and curiosity and spectacle. David Essex with the title track from his epic 1976 fourth studio album, Out on the Street. Yes. Tour de force of rock theater, produced by Geoff Westley, yes, who in a few years would assemble the War of the Worlds double album, super project with pretty much, heck, it seems like half the English music industry. In addition to Richard Burton. Yeah. Well, one of several big, like, rock kind of spectacle all-star production albums of that, conceptual productions of that time period, along with the Intergalactic Touring Band album put together by Passport Records, and some of Mike, and the second Mandela Band album, and those albums that were, those like classical rock opera albums that were being assembled by Mike Batt during that time period, like Tarot Suite. Yeah. Yeah, the late 70s, yeah, high time for grandiose, all-star rock, opera, spectacles, conceptual albums, yeah. Yeah, the ultimate, you could say the ultimate destination of rock's progress, and you know, from a simpler, more rudimental form in like the early to mid 1960s to a really advanced, adult, and sophisticated form by the late 1970s, and this album, of course, being one fine example of that maturity, and many other great songs. I was going to do a second one, but this, getting through this song, I had forgotten that it was over 10 minutes. I thought it was more like in the 7-8 minute range. I was going to do Coming Home, but this video's gotten a little bit too long. I'm a little bit too late in this video to start a second song. Usually when I do two songs in a video, I like to have the first song wrapped by like the 15-minute mark. So that will be another installment down the line Perhaps during next year's 76 of 76 marathon, if not beforehand. Anyway, for more Rubies and Sapphires from this great David Essex album and others in his catalog, see the directory of albums by English D artists linked in the description below. For Red Hot Tracks and Purples from a whole range of D artists, bands, D bands like Depeche Mode, Duran Duran, Deep Purple, Dolly's Car, and D artists, alphabetized by their first name, David Bowie, David Essex, Dave Mason, David Sylvian, Dusty Springfield, Duncan Brown. Yeah, it all goes on and on and on. Like and subscribe and follow me on social media and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about this song, its lyrics, its arrangements, the vocal performance, the orchestration by Geoff Wayne, the plot, the format, the different sections and all, the scenery that certain musical passages conveyed, the menace of it all, the melodramatics and the impact it had on you. Yeah, your favorite vocal flare-up in the piece. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most air-traveled trimaximalist, signing off.